Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua was not a new name in politics in the year 2017, even though this was the first time he tried an elective seat and he had served in various government positions as well as being a personal assistant to the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. 2017, he was sworn in as a member of parliament for Madira constituency after he won on Jubilee ticket. Rigathi was said to have been running the county government of Nyeri when his late brother Nderito Gachagua was unwell and out of the country receiving treatment. After the year 2017, Gachagua was among the few MPs who decided to follow the then Deputy President William Ruto after he fell out with his boss President Uhuru Kenyatta. Gachagua became a sharp critic of his one-time boss Uhuru Kenyatta, leading the rebellious faction of Tanga. He was named Ruto's running mate after serious 17 hours of standoff.
The Kenya Kwanza running mate candidate, my brother and friend, Rigathi Gachagua. The
selection of Gachagua as the running mate in the United Democratic Party UDA was not without a fight for the self-proclaimed son of Mau Mau. Various names had been fronted for the position, among them current DP Professor Kithure Kindiki, who by then was serving as the Tharaka Nithi senator. Kindiki had been requested by Ruto to shelve his Tharaka Nithi gubernatorial ambitions. Others were former National Assembly Speaker Justin Biden Muturi, Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome, and who by then was serving as the Kandara Member of Parliament and Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro. According to sources, Gachagua was not the preferred choice by the majority, and after 3 rounds of voting by UDA delegates, but due to his mobilization power and deep pockets, he influenced his way up.
But finally, we did. I can tell you for free that Gachagua also got more votes than everyone else. And if I tell you, if you give me the list of the members, because of which I know many people don't have, only those who are in Karen, like myself, and others who are in UDA, and not from any other tribe, Mount Kenya.
Yes, voted for Kindiki. But the deputy president then, who is the president now, said no, I will go with Gachagua. He went against all the votes that Kindiki had, all right? Why? Because he could understand, if I go with Kindiki, I won't make it.
Gua nani atakaye kuwa mgombea mwenza katika uchaguzi wa mwaka wa 2022. Asilimia 90 walikataa na wakamwambia rais, tafadhali, huyu bwana tunamjua. Yeye hatoshei, hana ujuzi wa kisiasa, hana nafsi mzuri ambaye na tabia na mienendo ambaye yalingana na ofisi ile ambayo unataka kumkabidhi wakati mtapata ushindi.
The Ruto-Gachagua ticket would go ahead to win the August 8th, 2022 general elections.
So Kenyans came out and voted on the 9th of August. And these are the results. Odinga Raila, total valid votes, 6,942,930. Number of valid votes, 7 million. I invite the President-elect to come forward and receive his certificate.
And Gachagua was declared Kenya's second deputy president.
I, Rigathi Gachagua.
On 13th September 2022, Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua took oath of office as the principal assistant to President William Ruto with the hope of serving 5 years term.
So help me God. Tumpongeze kwa makofi Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais.
And from the first day, Gachagua took on the previous administration, hunting President Kenyatta head-on at the Kasarani National Stadium.
President William Ruto, I must tell these people the truth. The truth of the matter is that we have inherited a dilapidated economy that is facing almost an economic shutdown, where again poor people will never again be evicted in brutal evictions by state agencies.
The continued enmity between Gachagua and former president and the attacks on Kenyatta would not end at that. His family farm at Northlands would later be attacked. The country would later face demonstrations and chaos that were led by opposition's Azimio. Gachagua quick to warn the Raila-led brigade.
Na mimi niko hapo na mimi nalala na jicho moja, ingine nalala ikiwaona. Nafunga moja usiku. Ile ingine nakaa kama torch. Nikisikia maneno nakimbia hapo. Kwa sababu hii serikali tulitafuta na shida mingi sana. Hatuwezi kubali mtu haribu.
At the center of the chaos, Gachagua and his close allies did not shy away from championing for Mount Kenya interests, something which didn't sit well with some key allies of President William Ruto, who saw him as a threat to stability of the Kenya Kwanza government.
Kutiweza kutenganisha wa Kenya kupitia kwa ile slogan yake alikuwa anaitumia sana, ule msemo wake alikuwa akiutumia sana, ya kwamba ikiwa wewe Mkenya na hukupiga kura, hisa zako hakuna, kwa hiyo wewe utangoja, utakuwa na tamaa ya chakula, lakini utangoja chakula kitakuja baadaye, baada ya wale ambao waliweza kutambua ama kupiga kura, ndio watapewa nafasi ya kwanza, kwa sababu hao ndio wako na hisa za juu.
Those who once in a while were with them bought that idea. Nobody spoke to it. I think as a leader, he should have asked himself, why is nobody buying this idea? Why is nobody, voicing it out?
Sometimes, very many politicians learn to where their blood is well battered. And if he was a bully, whom should he have started to bully? He would have started with the voters. But why are voters with him and the same voters are not with readers? So the greediness took the readers to take that direction.
The aggressive Gachagua insisting the Mount Kenya shares ought to reflect in all government appointments as well as development agenda as promised in campaigns. It is the statement that President William Ruto described as primitive and backwardness.
Hii serikali ni kampuni na ni ya shares. Si ndio? Ni ya shares.
We will work hard to make sure that our politics is focused on an agenda of developing Kenya. That we are going to make sure that we deal with the challenge of corruption, wasteful spending, and unnecessary use of public resources. We are going to ensure that we drive the agenda of Kenya in the manner that will benefit all regions and every part and every Kenyan.
It is at the moment that the relationship between Gachagua and his boss was seen to have gone sour.
Rais William Ruto kura alikuwa amehangaishwa sana, si ndio? Si alikuwa ameteswa? Si alikuwa amedhulumiwa? Yeye akatoa ahadi kwa watu ya Kenya ya kwamba akipata uongozi naibu wake hatahangaishwa. Sisi tunamuuliza rais, weka ahadi yako, deputy president yako asikosewe heshima.
In his word, the relationship was dented at the first year of the Kenya Kwanza government.
Kama mbaya, but he will not be taken through that.
Gachagua accused his boss, President William Ruto, of not taming the aggressive Mount Kenya young turks who had already started growing wings in advancing their future political agenda. The truthful man seemingly agitated by the move, though President William Ruto intervened. In fact, some of the political leaders from his Mount Kenya background endorsed Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro as possible replacement for Gachagua.
Sisi kama vijana, we must sit down na hapa Kiharu tutatangaza rais akitoka mahali hapa, maanake tumefanya kazi ambayo tumeona ile kazi ambayo anayofanya
kwa muda mrefu. Kuna urafiki ambao mmekuwa nao. Yeye hakuwa anachukulia vizuri wale ambao walikuwa wanaonekana ni kama ni marafiki na rais zaidi yake, na inaweza kuwa hata si kweli, yani ni hisia tu ambayo unaona kwa nini wewe kila siku nikija State House ninakupata, ama ninasikia mnazungumza na rais sana, akawa yani kwa ile kwa lugha ya Kimombo, sijui kwa Kiswahili aitwaje, akawa na insecurity.
Sources say that the straw that broke the camel's back in Gachagua-Ruto relationship was at the height of anti-finance bill protest by Gen Z. Gachagua is said to have altered words that broke the already messy relationship. Gachagua would later hold a press briefing in Mombasa minutes after his boss addressed the nation and seemingly reading from a different script on the matter.
All these things happened because of government failure. It should never happen. Let us see how to compensate those families, those who are dead. We help those who are in hospital with bills, and we help to bury them.
Gachagua then urging the president to listen to the young Gen Z.
Where did we stop listening to the people? President William Ruto and I were the darling of the Kenyan people.
Later, he was accused of being aware and his involvement with planning the protest. His close allies James Gakuya of Embakasi North and Major Dong of Embakasi Central, among others, facing DCI over the matter, who until to date insist it was just a plan to soil their names.
Kwa njia moja ama nyingine, yeye alihusika katika maneno huo. Kwa nini nasema hivyo? Ninasema hivyo kwa sababu hapa Nairobi, mji huu umegawanyika kwa eneo tofauti tofauti ambazo wanasiasa kadha wa kadha wana ushawishi wa vile mambo yanafanyika. Kwa hivyo unapoona wananchi pahali fulani pengine kumewaka moto, mambo yamechemka, unajua sababu sisi ni wanasiasa na tunajuana. Unajua ni hapa Liz, hawa ni watu wake.
There were demonstration all over the country. That means if it was sponsored by anybody, that person is so powerful. He's so powerful. And he has support in all 47 counties.
All this long, Gachagua stood with his Mount Kenya or the so-called Murima people.
Niendelee kuchunga mambo ya mlima ama nisichunge? Sasa hiyo kuchunga mambo ya mlima inaniletea matatizo.
The president later dismissed the entire cabinet apart from Gachagua and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi.
I will immediately engage in extensive consultations across different sectors and political formations and other Kenyans with the aim of setting up a broad-based government.
At the height of the dismissal, Gachagua insisted that the Mount Kenya region should get its share back in the cabinet. Mount Kenya got at least 9 cabinet secretaries, but this time, with Raila Odinga's men on board, a move which didn't sit well with Gachagua. His allies spoke of sidelining the deputy president, and later Gachagua stating of even missing out on his boss' itinerary.
This is just a power play. There were so many people who are not probably happy with the deputy president, and those are the inner circle of the president. But I do not have a problem with the inner circle. I only have a problem with my president, whom I voted for, because he could have done something. He could have spoken about it. He could have mentioned it. And I'm also very angry at the Prime Minister Raila Odinga, because he used that opportunity also to kick out a person from the mountain. Yet he wanted the support of all of us as a country to vouch for him to be the chairman at AUC.
Mount Kenya people are so peaceful. They have impeached the deputy president. Very many people expected demonstration. Did you see any? No. They just kept quiet and said, this is your time. Do what you want. Our time is coming. And our time, I believe, is 2027. Yeah. I can tell you for free, it is a script that was prepared and well thought of by people trying to create grounds to impeach Rigathi Gachagua.
The rumor of impeachment of the second deputy president Rigathi Gachagua became a reality on October 1st, 2024, when a notice of motion of impeachment was presented in the National Assembly by Kibwezi West Member of Parliament Ekomas Mwengi Mutuse, who listed 11 charges against Gachagua. Despite of intense lobbying, the centre could not hold, and 291 members of National Assembly voted in favour of impeachment motion.
And therefore, honourable members, I urge you to find that Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, in his assertions about shareholding and a company, it was not in reference to political parties, it was in reference to regions, it was in reference to communities, and the evidence that we provided remains uncontroverted, and this ground must be confirmed.
The results of the division on the motion are as follows. Abstentions 1. The noes 44. The ayes 281. So the ayes have it.
October 8th, 2024, 291 members of parliament gave a nod to the impeachment motion against the second deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, this being an historic moment under the new constitution 2010. Gachagua and his team, hopeful that Senate would save him, he even offered himself to defend himself at the Senate, but senators could hear none.
Mheshimiwa Spika, masuala ya ukiukaji wa kiapo haya, Mheshimiwa Spika, hayana nguvu kwa sababu wakati alipokuwa anaapishwa siku ya kwanza aliapa viapo viwili. Kwa hivyo hatujui ni kiapo kipi ambacho alikikeuka wakati Mheshimiwa Muthusi alipokuja hapa na kuzungumzia masuala haya.
The Speaker, I would have expected that the crumbling relationships within the Kenya Kwanza administration would perhaps have been handled within their PG or their NEC and resolved there. But because they have chosen this path, Mr. Speaker, they have made their bed, they must lie on it.
Tonight, because the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya is just like the law of Moses. It says if you are found guilty of political adultery, you should be stoned to political death. It is called impeachment.
Gachagua would later fall sick when he was expected to take a witness stand at the Senate.
Is that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has been taken sick, very sick, and as I address Mr. Speaker in this honorable House, Senators, he is in hospital, Mheshimiwa Speaker. That is a sad reality.
It would be useful to this House if Senior Counsel Paul Mwite could probably give us a way forward in terms of the time limitations that the Senate has. I'm saying this because we don't want somebody to say that the Deputy President was not given an opportunity to be heard. I think the Senate will want him to be heard.
And with that, his fate was sealed. Gachagua was impeached. 11th October 2024 at 10:30 p.m., Senate upheld the impeachment of Gachagua with 5 grounds substantiated by majority of the lawmakers.
the Senate has resolved to remove from office by impeachment His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, AGH, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Accordingly, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, AGH, ceases to hold office.
Those senators insisted of serving justice on the impeachment. His allies insisted it was just a political game, which the players wanted Gachagua out of the picture.
It was called prima facie. It was called, it's a case of how you look. You know, when I see how you look, if I don't like you, I can just vote you out. So the reason why I stood with him, I would stand with anyone, even President Ruto himself. If he was to be impeached, and I look at the grounds, I will stand with him.
Only the greedy, turbo-cracked MPs. Even money cannot influence my conscience. And most of those Mount Kenya members of parliament, it is their conscience that voted no or voted against impeachment. It is their conscience that guided them. Yeah? And that now is what now we are looking for and pleading with other members. Going forward, please let your conscience and the will of the people who put you to that office be the one that to be followed.
Kwa hivyo wakati ilipofikia na ikaonekana kwamba hata tukimpa mpaka siku ya mwisho ya kusikiza kesi hiyo ambayo ilikuwa Jumamosi, hakuwa tayari na hakuna vile angekuja mbele yetu, basi ikabidi tutumie yale majibu ambayo alikuwa tayari ameyawekelea ndani ya bunge na kusema unajua ni mashtaka.
18th October 2024, the National Assembly approved the appointment of the then Interior Cabinet Secretary, Professor Kithure Kindiki, to replace Gachagua as the third Deputy President. When he was discharged from the current hospital, Gachagua narrated the ordeals he claims to have suffered in the hands of his boss, the relationship seemingly irreconcilable, and which wouldn't allow the two to work together.
On 30th of August in Kisumu, undercover security agents entered my room in Kisumu and bagged it, and one of them tried to poison my food, but we detected it and we were able to escape the scheme. I was supposed to be killed through poisoning.
To nail the last nail in Gachagua's political career, President William Ruto named Professor Kithure Kindiki to replace Gachagua despite of stay orders which barred his swearing in. The courts lifted the orders, paving way for Kindiki as the third deputy president.
That I will always truly
and diligently
serve the people of Kenya
and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, that I will diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the said office to the best of my judgment, that I will at all times when so required faithfully and truly give my counsel and advice to the President of the Republic of Kenya, that I will do justice to all without fear, favor, affection, or ill will.
Gachagua has been trying to galvanize his political base in the Mount Kenya region in the last few days while courting the eastern region.
Then sisi tutafutana na Kalonzo, na sisi na marafiki wengi sana tunaongea na tuko na formula, na sisi Waititu na Wamushomba atakwambia sisi hatuendage pahali ya kuanguka. Hatuko. Pahali utasikia sisi tuko ndio itashinda. Sasa kama tutakuwa na nyinyi mtakuwa washindi. Mnataka tukue pamoja? Mnataka tukue pamoja? Sisi pahali tunakuanga all the time. The winning team, we are always there.
It is only a selfish leader who believes that it is only him and him alone who can lead. But more than 5 times he has told me that he must not be in the ballot. He can also support somebody else and be a kingmaker.
That tells you there was a lot of power play. There was a lot of self-interest. There was a lot of investment and transaction that went through. But the people understand that. The people know that. The people hold Gachagua with high regard. And they are going to support him to the next move. And I'm telling you, because now we understand we will never go into any other government without putting pen on paper. So for Rigathi Gachagua, either inside or outside, he's going to be the next power.
Bunge la Seneti likisema ya kwamba limekung'atua kwenye mamlaka kisiasa, yani impeachment, basi wewe mambo yako ya hata huko nyumbani kuwa mkubwa wa ng'ombe kama watatu wazee wakiketi kando namna hii, ama kuwa mkubwa wa ile tunaita kettle dip, ama kuwa mzee wa mtaa, pia haiwezekani, hawezi, hairuhusiwi, na utakuwa ukiukaji wa sheria.
Was the relationship between President William Ruto and former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua for convenience or interests?
It was a political game by the president to get rid of me. And looking at it, I don't think the president had any intention of ever working with me. I think he just needed me to help him win the election because of my mobilization capacity and the faith the Mount Kenya region has in me.
The fate of glamorous political career of the second Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua hangs in balance in courts, awaiting determination on whether he was properly impeached or not. Elizabeth Mutiko, TV47, Nairobi.